Ladies and gentlemen, would you believe what I'm about to tell you? Yahaya Bello is asking the court to give him back his passport. Say what travel, say nowhere. You know, say when they grant and bail last, the court sees the passport. So they no go wrong now. You understand? They seize the passport. The man is approaching the court to say that he has hypertension and he needs his passport so that he can go to London, may they go treat and there. EFCC lawyer say no, this is abuse of court process. He no tell the shorties. Yahaya Bello say no, I no need to tell the shorties. The only reason why they don't grant and bail that yesterday, why they don't give another passport that yesterday, is because the medical report when he brings say get hypertension, the doctor will write am no sign am. Let me show you this news. Justice Emeka Nwite of the Federal High Court Abuja has turned down a request by the immediate past governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, seeking the release of his international passport, saying that the medical report attached to the application was not signed by its maker. Delivering the ruling, Justice Nwite, however, held that contrary to the submission of the prosecution team, the application was not an abuse of the court process. The defendant had applied for the release of his travel documents to enable him to travel to the United Kingdom for medical attention. The judge said counsel to the defendant argued that the applicant was a known hypertensive patient for about 15 years. The lawyer, Joseph Daudu, SAN, was also said to have presented Exhibits A and B, which constituted an expert report on the health status of the applicant, saying that sufficient materials have been placed before the court to exercise its discretion in favor of the applicant. The judge also recalled that the prosecution team argued that the application was an abuse of the court's process. While urging the court to dismiss the application, counsel to the prosecution noted that the relief sought were similar and that the motion was technically incompetent as the sureties to the defendants were not informed. On the issue of suretyship, the court held that the matter before it was Yahaya Bello versus FRN and not versus the sureties. The judge further aligned with the arguments of the counsel to the defendant, ruling that the surety ought not to be included in the application. The counsel to the complainant did not cite any section of the law that says sureties should be given notice or made a party in the motion on notice, he said. The counsel did not cite any law, whether locally or internationally, to back his argument. On the abuse of process of court, it is the argument of the complainant that the instant application is incompetent and amounts to abuse of the court process. It is not in dispute that the applicant is standing trial before this court, an FCT court, and it is not in dispute that the applicant was granted bail in this court on December 13, 2024, and at FCT High Court on December 19, 2024. The FCT High Court in its ruling said that the applicant must seek the leave of the court. Hence, this instant application does not amount to abuse of the court process. Justice Nwite also stated that it's also a fact that the court and the FCT High Court are courts of coordinate jurisdiction. The court, however, held that Exhibit B, which was the medical report provided by a doctor, was not signed by its maker and as such lacked any legal efficacy. The court emphasized that an unsigned document carries no weight in law and is considered worthless. In other words, Exhibit B is devoid of probative value and cannot be relied upon by the court, the judge held. The defendant has failed to place sufficient material before this court for his passport to be released for him to travel. Consequently, this application is hereby refused, Justice Nwite said. The case was thereafter adjourned to October 7 and 10 and November 10 and 11, 2025 for continuation of trial. Wait, they don't grant Yahaya Bello bail since December 2024. Just that. That means he has been free for 7 months. Anyway, the court is saying the only reason why they don't give him a passport is because that medical report when he bring, the doctor will make the medical report, so he write and no signer. So once he can get the doctor to sign that medical report, that's all. They'll give him his passport. EFCC lawyer said, court, this is an abuse of court process. This guy did not even inform his shorties because now people stand for him as shorties when they release him. Yahaya Bello lawyer said no. This is the case between the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Yahaya Bello. He does not need to inform his shorties. The court said we agree. He does not need to inform the shorties. The Yahaya Bello lawyer also said this is not an abuse of court process. Court sent me the holy passport. The guy say please, I want to travel for being sick. And he came back to the court to ask the court for permission. That cannot be an abuse of court process. The court said that's true. It cannot be an abuse of court process. So the only thing holding Yahaya Bello from getting that passport and leaving this country now that doctor will not sign that report. Once that doctor signed that report, by October, Yahaya Bello is going to get his passport and he can travel as he likes. So what are we talking about? That case of money laundering, that one they will drag for another 10 years. Before you know, prosecuting counsel don't tire. You see, in Nigeria, once you have money to pay lawyers, very sound lawyers, to fight a case, as far as you not buy person with a cash you render dead, and you not go and drop with a cash you render dead, it will come out. He will come out. That's how Nigerian law is designed. It is why sometimes many people know they like go court. So for all those money where they say Yahaya Bello collect, so he long that he do this, he's out and he's going to get his passport very soon. He can travel. So the only thing he will really do is to be paying lawyers to be adjourning the case and delaying the case. How long that Judge former governor of Ekiti State, Fayose, how long did they try show? Is it not 7 straight years? Delaying the case. Well, I say my court and I say very soon, Yahaya Bello will say EFCC don't prosecute. He's going to come out. Where's the EFCC chairman with the rake? If I don't prosecute Yahaya Bello, I will do this, I will do that. Now I be that you won't go London. And it's annoying. The former governor of the state wants to go to London to treat himself. Well, our former presidents too, they go London, go treat themselves. London now don't come be like our hospitals they leave this side for poor and children. There we get money. Now that side they go. It is well.